Boom, boom, boom. Mic check. Waiting for mine to come on in case you guys are already in here and seen it. Mine's usually behind more than some of y'all's. What's up, Ryan? Abraham, Clint, Someway, TPG, I think Denny O'Fools, BMCK, Pie Guy, I saw up there earlier. Not a ton of pre-gaming going on today, or not as many as usual, or not as long of a list. Same amount of people, just not as long a list. Klein hat to the left. Where can I get one? I got that from Klein whenever I was at Klein, so I don't know if they sell them or not. I didn't buy that one. Well, unless you're talking about the orange one. You talking about the orange one or the black one? The orange one I bought off of. I didn't buy it. I got it for free whenever with a certain order on House of Tools. Like if you spent so much money, you got the hat for free. I don't know about the black one. I don't know. They gave that one to me. What's up, Nellick guy? Hollywood Crew said the orange one. So I got that on House of Tools. I don't know if it's anywhere else or not. So House of Tools normally has certain things, like if you spend 75, you get something for free. You spend 100, you get something for free. And some order I made, I had enough to get that hat for free. Mine reset to 4 minutes. Anyone else? What's up, Carlos? What's up, John Queso? Bobby Beach. So, over the course of time, a lot of you have asked me about my hats or, that kind of stuff. I had looked at different places, and everywhere was really too complicated because, again, I'm not a person who, like, I've got to go into these apps and design the stuff and all that kind of stuff, and I don't like messing with all that. Even though I make stuff like thumbnails and videos and all that, it's not my cup of tea. I'm a contractor, so but I ended up going on Fourth Wall, and I spent some time. And the only reason why I picked Fourth Wall is because they linked to YouTube, and it seemed like it was going to be an easy thing to be able to mess with them. They don't have and they also had the Richardson's 112. So I went to several places, and the Richardson 112 wasn't an option, and that's the hat that I normally buy off Amazon. So my hats that I've been wearing, I buy them off Amazon typically, and then I take them to a place locally. I have them put it on there, and by the time I do all that, I've got more money in it than what it costs for me to get a hat now through Fourth Wall and ship it to me. So I did it for two reasons. One is some of you have been asking me about the hats and been wanting to buy one, and like it's just not feasible for me to buy one on Amazon, ship it to my house, take it to someplace, have them do it, and then ship it to somebody. Like by the time I do all that, it's going to cost you $50 to get a hat, because it cost me for this hat, for me to do it that way, it cost me like 35 or 40 or something like that. So, and it depends on how many I take in there at a time. But Fourth Wall, I ended up putting this on there. I wanted to order one before I made it live, so it's live now. You can get on there. So now I'll be able to buy my hats cheaper, so that's a win for me. And then if anybody else wants one, you can get yourself one. I don't know why anybody really wants one, but if you want one. And then I also made a coffee mug. So that's the only two things I've got up there right now. But if anybody wants something else and you look around their website and I can throw my logo on it, you want something specific, like they've got all kinds of stuff. If you let me know, I'll try to make one and you can see it. But I ordered these. When did I order them? It took a little while to get them, but I don't know if it's because I actually ordered this first and then I ordered this later because I made this later and then I got this first. I just got this today. This actually came in the mail today. But I wonder if it wasn't like a setup time, like, because this is an embroidered hat. Like, it's not like so it might have took some time. So maybe your shipping won't be as long, but it takes about a week or so at least. So it's not like you're buying something off Amazon type of thing. And I will say you're going to get it in a box. So this is the box that the coffee mug came in. And it's got my logo on it, and it looks like it's coming from Morgan's Maintenance, and this is the address that it's coming from, but it's not me. I'm not the one sending it to you. So just so you know that as a heads up as well, I'm not making these hats. I'm not the person responsible for packaging them. So if you get something and it's a big turd, I want to know about it, but I'm not the one that did it, is what I'm basically saying. So there's the only downside to the fourth wall. I buy the red ones on Amazon just because that's what I like, because it kind of goes with my red. They don't have this as an option, so you can't get the red ones. I have to make these. And I was a little leery of doing the red ones anyways because I didn't know what color the red was going to be on the fourth wall, and I didn't want to get it and it be like a total different color red, because in fact that's why I did the coffee mug this way, because the coffee mug, they've got one that's got a red inside, but I was afraid the red inside, it looked like a pretty bright red, wasn't going to be the same red as this, and I thought that was going to look weird, so that's why I did the black. But I will say, if for some reason fourth wall gets the red in, it's pretty much the same color red as what's on my other hat, so I wouldn't feel bad about getting the red ones if they start getting the red ones. But normally, like whenever I went, like this one is one that I've had made too. So normally whenever I go into my hats, the place that prints my hats, if I buy different hats, I say just make this match as close as you can to this. Because like I didn't want that to be red because that's going to look weird. Being bright red here and then burgundy on this. I went through a batch of just making all sorts of different color hats at one time. This is my normal. This one I've got some too. I can't remember what all the options are. Matter of fact, I can pull them up. I've got them here. So here's the color options. I think this is on y'all's screen, isn't it? Yeah. I'll see if I can move it a little closer. And I put a link in the description, but there's also all this stuff goes in the shop button. That's another reason why I wanted to do fourth wall, because it just goes in the shop button too. I don't know why. I don't know why the hat's blank right here. It's weird. Let me see. I don't know why that picture's gone, the main one. So they've got black, which is all black. I'll move y'all over a little closer. And again, I'm only showing this to y'all because some of you asked for it. I'm not in any way saying go out there and buy my hats and my coffee mugs. If you want one, buy one. If you don't want one, don't buy them. So this one's all black. So you'd have black mesh, black front. They've also got gray and black, which that is, I don't know if that's this one. Let me see if it's different. Let me see. That's charcoal black. I don't remember which one I ordered. Let me see. Yeah, this one's heather gray black. So charcoal black's going to be darker gray. That one is this one. They got this one. I didn't order any of the other colors because I wanted to wait until I saw it to make sure it was going to be good. I'm probably going to order some more of these now, but I didn't want to order any until I wanted to make sure the first one's going to be good. This one's like a greenish color or something like that, but it's all the same color. Like, then they got a black with white back here. Black with charcoal back there. And then that would be this color with white back there. So that was all the options they had. They had a few other ones, I think maybe. That might have been all of them because I don't think I kind of knocked out any of them. Like I said, it kind of knocked out two things for me. I'm going to get my hats cheaper now, which is pretty nice because I was paying. I can basically buy a hat through them, ship it to myself from them, have them make it, and it's cheaper than me buying a hat through Amazon and taking it to the place where I normally get my hats made. And then I've got on the mugs, the black one, like the one I've got there, that comes in an 11 and 15 ounce. That one I've got there is a 15 ounce. And then that's the only two sizes they have available in that style mug. And then they've got this one came in 20 ounce, just an all white one. So that's why I went ahead and put one on there too. 11, 15, and 20. That's all white. Let me get this going. All right, let me check the chat. Now that I got all that out of the way. Richardson 112, the gold standard of all hats. It's my favorite one. How many ounces is that mug? Denny said this one's 15. That's the biggest. They sell an 11 and a 15 in this one. 15 is the biggest they had in this one. But there is a white mug that's all white that has that had a 20 ounce option. So that's why I went ahead and made one like that, because I'm probably going to get one of them too. Like I said, I only ordered this mug and this hat because I wanted to wait and see how good they look before I order more of them. And I just now made it so that it's available for people to even get on my. I just opened my store basically. I've had it set up for like a week and a half or so now, but I didn't want to make it until I actually physically saw them and saw if they were worth anything. In fact, I kind of like it a little bit better. So here's the ones that I have made locally, and there's the ones that are made at the. This one's made at Fourth Wall, and the maintenance part is a little bit thicker, which I just put my logo in there. It's a little bit thicker than that over here. I kind of like it a little bit better. I think this one actually might look a little bit better than this one. Fourth Wall is absolutely legit. They do all the manufacturing. I'll pick one up at your hands. Let's see who calls me out at Home Depot. Maybe do an EDC nose hair trimmer. I haven't looked around to see what all they got on there. There's quite a few things on there. I wouldn't mind making like this has mortgage maintenance on both sides too. Like that way, if you're holding this hand or you're holding this hand, I like it when my mugs do that. Like the Klein mugs do that. I kind of want to make up. So if any of you are graphically designed really good, like I'd like to have mortgage maintenance logo on one side and like have a blessed day or something like that on the other side, possibly. But every time I was trying to come up with a have a blessed day, I couldn't get it to kind of look. I don't even know how to explain how I want it to look, but one that looks manly, but then also not so like blocky. Joey's dad had a stroke Monday. Way visiting him. Just stopping to say hi. We're joining you guys on the next one. That stinks, Joey. Hope everything goes well. Make a bottle opener. Burgundy, you say? Yeah, I actually got that. Amanda, I think I got her that. I think I got Amanda that one. That's her mortgage maintenance hat. I brought it out here just to show that whenever I was worried about the red, which Fourth Wall doesn't have it, but even if they had it, I've been leery about making one because every time I went to the store locally, I just say whatever thread you have that's closest to the mesh, make the Morgan's part be that. That way, kind of, because to me, if you have two different reds, it looks weird. Versus like if you have a red with the black or a red with the gray, it doesn't matter. But if you have two reds that are different, like if this mug was a really really bright like fire engine red, and then this red's not that red, I think that looks weird. What's up, Red Tower? You get a kickback from us buying the hats. Yeah, I make like a couple dollars or something like that. I don't. It's not nothing crazy. I'm not going to become a million. I don't think. For one, I don't think 40,000 of you is going to go out there and buy a hat. I mean, if 40,000 of you go out there and just give me $1, I'm doing pretty good. But 10 minutes in, still monetizing. Like I said, I'm not pressuring anybody to buy anything. I don't like the same thing I say about being a member and all that stuff. I just do it because you some of that stuff you have to do to keep YouTube off your back. And then some people have asked me for a hat, so it's out there. If you want one, by all means, get yourself one. But I don't care if you can get one or not. I'm going to order some through there now. That's where I'm going to be getting mine. Richardson's don't fit my big head. Mike. Oh, yeah, where's my mic? Oh, it's on my other hat. Like, where did I drop my mic? Mike's off. Mike was on my other hat. So now everything I just said, I don't know what wasn't counted, but what's up, Heath? Now I can turn the volume down. Start over. So I finally got some merch. No, I don't remember when I swapped, but I didn't say anything crazy important. Basically, the last thing I just said was because somebody said 10 minutes in you're still monetizing, which I know he was joking, but I don't care if you buy a hat or not. I don't care if you buy a coffee mug or not. I personally wanted a coffee mug that looked like this, so I bought myself one. If somebody else wants one, you can get one. I'm going to be getting my hats through there now because it's cheaper for me, and I can just order them. I don't have to spend the time going to that store and doing all that kind of stuff because I go through some hats. But if somebody wants one, they want one. And Abraham said, I don't know, that might have been in the cutout part. Do you make any money off of it? I make a couple dollars off anything that you buy, basically. Basically, Fourth Wall makes their amount, and then you make a little. But it's nothing where I'm going to become a millionaire because I don't think 40,000 of you are going to go out and buy a hat. Because if 40,000 of you bought a hat and I made $1 a hat, that's $40,000. That's pretty sweet, but that's not going to happen. So can you hear him now? What's up, Matt? Those mugs are sweet. Yeah, 15 ounces isn't bad. I'm normally a little bit bigger mug guy, but actually the setting on my, it's a Ninja, but it takes the cups, or I use coffee grounds. I don't use them cups, but it takes either or. It goes from 14 to I don't know what the next number is, and I always do 14 just because then it's not as watered down. And it fit. I mean, I just did it before I came out here, and it was pretty close to the top, so it's pretty accurate. But normally I am more of like a 20-ounce mug guy or something like that. Now, what I did say that maybe nobody heard, just in case, I'd like to make a mug, and then if I ever make a shirt for myself, and again, if I make stuff for myself, I'll put it on there. If somebody wants it, they can get one. I'd like to have my logo either on the front, and then have a blessed day on the other side back here on the back or something, and then same thing maybe on a shirt. But I've tried making multiple have a blessed day, and I can't grasp, I can't explain how I want it to be. Like I want it to be manly, but I also don't want it to be like big blocky letters. Like I don't know what I want it to be. So if anybody's good at designing stuff like that, I need have a blessed day that would look good in a mix with this. I'm seeing a hat mug giveaway coming soon. Well, and that's another thing too. Like if for some reason, like I did want to do something like, and in fact, that's whenever people buy stuff, I don't even know how the payout thing works, and I'm pretty sure I haven't signed up and like give them my information to pay me somehow anyway. So I don't know how it works. I I'll get to that whenever something happens. But if they just put it into an account, I might do stuff like that because I could just ship stuff directly from them to somebody now instead of because me shipping stuff is crazy. Like I don't know, I still don't understand it. I don't understand how Lowe's can ship a toilet to my house for free or Amazon can ship a toilet to my house for free. But if I go in and I ship a flashlight to somebody, it costs me $30. It's like I don't get it. I don't understand how that is, but whatever. So if anytime I can ship something directly to somebody, because there's a lot of times where like back whenever I was doing the giveaways of stuff, if it was available on Amazon, I could have almost depends on how much the thing costs, but it was almost better for me to just keep the thing and buy it on Amazon again and ship it to somebody than it was for me to go to the post office and mail it to somebody. Because basically the shipping costs more than what it did for me to just buy it. Appreciate that, Red Tower. Do plushies of you and Amanda. I don't know what all they've got on there. Like I said, I knew I was wanting to make a hat and a coffee mug. I haven't really delved into what else they have on there. Let's see. That's Red Tower's first super on a live stream. See, Kane5565 trying to find a solution for a small electrical meter to carry. Just put an order in for a Tech MC bag. Used to run a service truck full of tools. Got promoted, having to pare down now. So small electrical meter. What all kind of functions do you want on it? Because there's tons of people in here that's probably got quite a few small ones. But what all do you have to have on it? I guess would be the key thing. I mean, they've got little bitty pin testers like this little. I've got a Kaiweets version. I've got this one here that's pretty small. That even does capacitance and all that kind of stuff. Like a little bitty old pin meter like this. It does capacitance and everything. It does more than some of my bigger meters. But I don't know what all, if you're looking for like a meter, but that just so happens to be small. And not so much like as small as a pin type of thing. Because a Tech MC, you could still put a decent size one in there. Depends on how many other tools you have in there, I guess. I want a truck driving, low quality handyman shirt. Matt's been FedEx shipping. It's been cheaper than UPS. RD Bailey, are you talking about a letter scramble? I don't know what that was too. What was I talking about? That might have been a letter scramble. Hey, Ryan, I sent you an email. Have you done? Because I thought you answered me in your email what your answer was. But if you have, I couldn't find it if you did, as far as what your trade is. So if you could just email me a sentence of I'm a this, just so I can screenshot it and put it in the next guest to trade, or comment on underneath of the video or something like that if you have time to. I thought I could have swore you sent it to me in an email, but I read through your whole email and I was like, well, it ain't in here. Economy of scale, so they claim. What's the dimensions of your workbench? I know it's less than, I basically took a sheet of birch plywood and then I made it fit my drawers. I think if I remember right, it was like 30. It's 30 and 3/4 deep. 92.5 wide. And I came up with that based on, at the time I built this, I had something else. Well, for one, I built it based on those two cabinet drawers, and then I built it actually to fit those in between it. I just recently moved those, but I also had something else over here at the time whenever I built them. At one time, these were about the only thing or this workbench was pretty much about the only thing I had in here. It was one of the first things I built. And then over time, I've added the shelves and stuff in different spots. But I used to not have that much stuff in here because I didn't work out of it. It was my own garage here. And then I worked out of the facility that I worked at. I was going to buy his Vito CBLD, but I couldn't because the shipping would have cost more than just buying it from Vito. Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's the way it's so crazy to ship anything, like even something real small. It's like $17 just to ship a flashlight or something like that. It's just crazy. To do it yourself, it's crazy. What's up, Sizzle Nick? Abraham said the big companies have contracts and pay wholesale. Picked up the Milwaukee Hot Shot this week to have it jump start my vehicles. That thing is big and heavy, considering returning it for a NOCO. I've not seen it in person. My Home Depot would never carry like that. I'd have to order it and get it and all that kind of stuff. My Home Depot never carries any of that specialty stuff. You pretty much have to order it and ship it to the store. So it stinks whenever you want to look at something like that to see how big it is, even if not about the weight, but just to see how big is that thing. If I want to keep it in my trunk or whatever. I mean, you can get online always and get dimensions of stuff, but it's not the same as seeing it. Like I want to see it. AC. So Kane needs AC, DC, resistance, continuity, basic DC plant capabilities. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that pin meter, which the pin meter I just showed you, that's the one that Matt mentioned. That's the one that TPG mentioned. It does all that stuff. Now, if you want one a little bigger than that with a little bit bigger screen, I don't really have anything that I would say is small. So I mean, none of mine are huge. Mine aren't the biggest meters. Like I got the Fluke 324 and the T6. They're not like gigantic, but I wouldn't call them small meters. And the only thing I have outside of those is those pin meters. So I don't have anything kind of in between those. Be like Elf on the Shelf and Funko Pop style. Yeah, I don't know if they got anything like that on there or not some way. Fluke 101's very small. Best to shoot for a clamp meter type. Matt said Unity makes a pin multimeter and a fork meter that's not a joke to handle good quality. Yeah, I'd be curious. I've been curious about it anyways, but somebody made a good point. I can't remember it was if they were commenting. I think they commented below the video, whatever. It may have been, I guess, the trade video that the Pocket meter, I had been seeing that on Facebook forever. But somebody made a good point in the fact that it basically sends all the measurements to your phone. So you're kind of holding your phone and then trying to hold the meter if you don't have somewhere to set your phone where you can read it. So it's almost like taking the screen of your meter and you having to do something with it. So there's times where that's not going to be very good. But I know they also have a clamp attachment to that too. That's pretty small, but that's really pricey. And again, I know nothing about it other than seeing it being advertised 1,000 times. Denny said, unfortunately, the 15 ounces is a shot glass for me. Well, see, I drank more than 15 ounces. Like I'll drink 3 of these, but I like to make them in this amount of ounce at a time. For one, by the time I drink it, it's still hot. And then I like to make mine in that increment because then it doesn't water down as much. But yeah, I drank way more than 15 ounces. Can you show me what you have in those small pack out containers in your truck, especially the wall hanger one sometime? Yeah, I can grab them. I'll grab them right now and put them on my bench. Right, I'll put them on this cart and just tilt that phone down. I don't know if I've restocked them all. 100%, but for the most part, they should have. I know I'm not out of anything, but I don't know how full they are. And I need to rework my trim nail box because I didn't have the 15 gauge nailer at the time. And I need to rework some stuff in it and just not carry as many of some of them. Let me move this over here. I'm going to tilt y'all down at the... Y'all probably be able to see that, I think. So this one, I think I've actually got this one in a video, but I don't know that it was set up this way. So this one's impact bits, and there was a 3D print video that I made a while back where I bought stuff that was 3D printed, and this was kind of in there, but I don't know if it was set up. And this, again, this is just weird stuff or extras. I very rarely even actually get in this box. This is just if I'm going in somewhere and I'm going to be there all day doing a bunch of different stuff and I don't know what I'm going to need, I just grab this and take it in with me. I'm going to wait a second and make sure this shows up pretty decent on there. I think it's going to be good. Actually, I guess let me walk around. Let me tilt it a little bit more. Scoot you up a little. Maybe if I stick something under like the backside, like this or something, maybe that'd be better. A little bit. So basically I just got from Phillips, Phillips 1, 2, 3. That one's in the wrong spot. Square 1, 2, 3, different slotted Torx from, T whatever up, some hex. Here's a bunch of ECX bits extra. And then here's a bunch of 2-inch. Sometimes I need those, just to get in somewhere. I normally don't use these. Like I'm always using the locking bit holders, but every now and then you need a, 6-inch or 4-inch or 2-inch or whatever. I just keep these in here because, again, sometimes I grab this whole box and just take it in, and then I end up needing like a little drill bit to pre-drill something. If I don't have that, I'll try to not to do it without pre-drill, and then you get split. A couple step drill bits, some nut drivers, flip sockets, metric and SAE. Here's a couple Malcos of the this is that newer version they came out with. It was 3/8 and 7/16, and then this is that one that's got the goes through the Pookie or the tape. And then normally I also have, but I got it out somewhere just yesterday, like the 45-degree swivel one. This is one of them DeWalt locking ones. And then I've got a couple longer Malcos, just random stuff. Again, this is just one where I grab it and take it in with me. I don't actually use it that often because I've got my bits kind of to where I can grab them right there when I get out of my truck. Let me find something else besides that so I quit knocking that. Let me see if this works. Trim nails. Again, nothing fancy. Pin gauge. Staples for my M12 stapler, 16 gauge, 18 gauge, 16 gauge. But I'm going to rework this because I'm going to swap probably, I don't know, I might make a 16 gauge and a 15 gauge box, and then I make a pin nailer and 18 gauge box is what I'm thinking about doing. But again, this is just one where I've got them in there. Wire testicles. I've also got, so this is the one where if I don't have my electric, this one's in my truck all the time. My electrical box normally in my truck all the time. Matter of fact, it's in there right now. which has all this stuff in there too and more. It's like a bigger organizer, but this one stays in my truck 100% of the time. Like I never take this one out. So small orange and blues, big blues, couple of the big Wagos. I've got like the ones that do the 10 gauge, Unishims, number 6s, number 8s, some shims like this, Wagos, 5s, 3s, 2s, Wagos, the inlines, some of these deals, and then red and tans. Normally would I run in little zip ties just in case I need some. And then underneath of this, I usually keep a handful of pigtails that I can fit in there. I've got more of these in my truck, but I keep these in that box just so I got some. So if I run into a box that doesn't have one, here is, let's see, these are, I saved these out of the light fixtures. This comes with the LED bulbs. So if I have extras, I save them and put them in here because I do that a lot. I convert fluorescent fixtures to LEDs, and then that way, if I don't have stickers, I can put those in there. I don't think I got anything else under there besides that plug, that metal shim, just because it fit there. All these little ones are in my truck 100% of the time. Like these never come out of my truck. These are always in my truck. Let me check the chat. Make sure I don't get too buried. Kai Wheats has a clamp meter that can measure DC. For the price, the Hot Shot's too expensive, too big. RD Bailey. So Ryan said low voltage tech specialization. Yeah, that's what I figured. But send it to me in an email though, or something, so I can screenshot it and put it up in the next video. If you don't care, if you can, check your email. Just sent you. Okay. $32.99 will be about a week to reach me. Bring up a Unity. Okay, I will here in just a second, Matt. Here is the wall anchor one. I think that's one you were asking for. And this is always changing. It's whenever I buy a pack of wall anchors of some kind. Normally, I've always got a lot of these. I use a ton of these, the little yellows. Matter of fact, I got like a whole nother box of I bought the Klein ones this last time. These are a little bigger though. Because these are actually more so for, these are more for concrete and the bigger screws, but I run a bunch of these little yellow ones. These are just something that came out of something that I bought. These little zip anchors, I normally keep these in there. I've also got like these little picture hangers like this. Sometimes I use those, but this changes all the time based on whatever's in there. And again, I got a bigger wall anchor box that has stuff in there, but I need to refill it. These are called wall dogs. So these are essentially this plus a screw, kind of all in one. They work okay. They work better in 5/8 drywall than they work in 1/2 inch drywall. But you got to be careful with these because once you get it tight, you go one too many turns, the hole's wallered out. So these are good, but you got to be careful with them. So this is never, usually I've got enough of those in there. So again, that's why it doesn't look like I got a ton of them, and that's because I don't. Because what I'll do is, if I go do a job tomorrow and I use these wall anchors, when I get home, I'll get out my big box and put a handful more in here type of thing. And this is the last, this is the last small one. So this is just cramp connectors, different ones, like the spades and the forks and butt connectors. And here's like the, what I call wire nut style. I don't know what the technical name is for that, but I got basically blues and yellows and reds in the spade connectors, female and male. These for grounds on stuff. Fork connectors in case I need some. These I don't use that often. These I use fairly often. These I don't use as much anymore now that we got the Wago inline connectors. I just use those, but All right. Now let me go get out of the weeds. Unity UT-T01. It's this one right here, 35 bucks. AC current, true RMS, AC DC voltage, non-contact voltage, resistance, continuity. Let's see what else it says it's got down there. So measures AC current, AC current frequency, AC DC voltage, AC voltage frequency, so hertz, resistance, capacitance, so it does have capacitance, hertz. 35 bucks. Let's see dimensions. If it's got a place that's got dimensions, I don't see it. And you can't really go by the dimensions that they put down here usually, because it's sometimes the box. I don't even know if they got the dimensions anywhere. Yeah, they don't have it anywhere on here. Let's see what this measurements. It's just got the weight. Yeah, no measurements. UT-T01E. I know I didn't have E on there. I don't know if that makes a difference. Makeshift designs and makeshift designs, not makeshift designs as a company. Makeshift designs and makes plushies. I think they do the shipping too. Pull your chairs up close. It's show and tell time. Yeah, I haven't cleaned those out like in a little while, because normally I don't clean them out. Like I said, the wall anchors, it's something where if I got a few left in there, I just leave them in there. And once they're gone, if I get a different one that might be similar but a little different, that's what I'll put in there. As long as I've got a couple of every type of kind, I'm pretty good. So like if I'm going to a job, let's say, because I do this pretty often actually. Let's say a doctor's office calls me and says, I've got 40 pictures that I'd like to have you come hang up and some TVs and whatever else. I have that in my truck, but I know that ahead of time, and I'll get my whole wall anchor box out and put it in my truck and take it with me. And then I won't even use any of those. I'll just take my big box in with me. I just keep those in my truck as I came here today and you decided you wanted me to do this. Cause like I went to a customer's house today. I changed out a vanity faucet in a bathroom. And then while I was there, she's like, I've also got, which is how it always goes, a couple lights that aren't working right and whatever. So I like to have a little bit of a few things for that. And then that way also, if it's a small job and I go in too, even if I'm going to do something and it's just a small job, I don't want to take a big old box in with me if I can just take that little thing in. So that's kind of how I use those. It's a service in the sense of getting into something I didn't know I was going to get into, and I like to have enough little stuff on me to be able to do it. And then also, even if it's a job that I know I'm going to do, but I know it's only going to be this one thing, I don't have to pack in a big old box with me. I can just take that little box in. How many big blue wire testicles can you hold? Hey, you all like done. Hey, you all like done Joey. I don't know what you're trying to say, James Ridley. Hey, you all like done Joey. Like the zip anchors. Yeah, the zip anchors are pretty good. Every now and then depends on what brand you get. Like I never the ones that come with stuff, they're always trash. Like for some reason the Phillips part strips out real easy or the backside of it breaks off real bad. There's definitely a difference between the better brand ones of those, the zip anchors, than the like cheaper ones. And you can tell whenever you get them in, like if you buy a mirror or something and it comes with some of those, they're usually garbage. Nice organization. Appreciate that, James. Got some ideas to organize my stuff. Yeah, I really need to go through, like, especially the trim nail one. It's one of those that, of course, I mean, how much more can you organize it other than putting different size nails in different ones? But I've kind of figured out, like, my 18 gauge, I pretty much just need to buy a 2 inch and inch and 5/8 or inch and a half. That's the two nails I use all the time. So that's all I really need to have in there is 2 inch and inch and 5/8. Pen nailers, I pretty much always use the longest ones. Uh, I very rarely get out very small ones, and if I do, it's usually something around here where I'm building something. So I could probably get away with knocking that down to just be the big ones. In this case, again, I got way more of every single nail that's in this. I've got a ton of them over here behind you in big boxes. But in that case, I need to weed it down so I can fit some 15 gauges in there. And really on the 15 gauge, I pretty much just need the long ones, which takes up a lot of room. You don't have 3 amp fuses in your kit. I've got 3 amp fuses in one of my Klein drawers. I keep a little bag. I've got about 6 or 7. I got some 3s and some 5s in one of my drawers. If you watch my tool review, the drawer that had the receptacles and switches and some plumbing parts and my Canon gun for HVAC, I got a little baggie full of those little fuses down inside of that drawer. Dan the Fisherman said organization is key. Makes your day a lot better, in my opinion. 201A, not that big one. So the E does make a difference. Okay. Tom said I'm way behind. I don't even know. No, I'm not too far. I just scrolled down to the bottom. I'm not too far behind that. Klein anchor is better than any other anchor type. I don't think. I bought these just because I like these anchors. Like personally, they're kind of old school. But for hanging pictures and stuff, that's the one downside about these. That sometimes you can't use these. Depends on what you're hanging. So like if you're hanging something or even like a towel bar or something like that, sometimes like where you're putting a screw in barely gets covered up. Or if you're hanging a picture and the picture is at the hanger is like the screw hole's at the very top of the picture, like sometimes you might have a little bit of this showing. So sometimes that's just too big and I don't like using them. So that's when I use those little yellow ones or something. And the thing I use with these, I don't ever use a drill to make my holes for this because then you got to have a vacuum and you got to have all that stuff. Take a drink. I'm back at the truck. I use an awl like this. That's why you can see all that drywall stuff and stuff on there. And I just, for one, it's easy to get it exactly where I want because I hit the point exactly where I want it. And then I just keep pushing it through the drywall, and then all your dust and all your drywall goes inside the wall. And then you just put this in there and you can tap it even with this and it'll go in. So I never use a drill to put these kind of anchors in. That's why I use them a lot because it's just cleaner. It doesn't take that much longer. Like, because these right here, they're a little messy. Like, I mean, you're going to get, if you don't have something to clean it up, they're a little bit messy. But the big thing is, to me, is sometimes you can't use them because it's too big of a outside of your screw that you can visibly see. I'd like to be able to fit this in here, and I probably could if I move some stuff around, but I just keep this in my little caddy because sometimes I use it for something else besides wall anchors, but I just keep it in the little caddy, and anytime I grab this, I just grab this out of it. Where did you get the labels for the Milwaukee low profile? Some off Etsy. I think that's in the same video as my impact bit holder thing that's in there because that's 3D printed too. I whatever video that, and I can't remember. I've gotten 3D printed stuff from 2 or 3 people now off Etsy, and I don't know. I want to say it was the 3D print designs. I've got a sticker of it somewhere. Print3dinserts.com, but he's also on Etsy. I think that's where I got these. And this is an insert. And then I also got an insert for the DeWalt. I don't know if I got any more of those in here. Like this case, this kind of case, I got an insert in that video too. I gave it to my buddy. I bought it and this one to see which one I like the most. And then once I started running more pack out, I just gave him that DeWalt thing because I wasn't going to be using it. Means I hit the like button. It's a Filipino thing. Okay. RD Bailey sent me a logo. Check my email. Let's see. I don't know if I might can get to it from here. Yeah, he's got the Morgan's maintenance and have a blessed day. Let's see if I can get it. Oh, I just drilled the camera stand. What's up, KJ Trade? I think the Toggler AF5 alligator flange wall mounts are really good for small wall mounts. Alligator flange, Toggler AF5. Toggler AF5. I'm sure I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what the name of it is. So Toggler AF5. Yeah, those are the kind that open up whenever you put them in there. Let's see if I can find it to where I can pull up a picture. Yeah, there's a good picture right there. Splits open. Yeah, and that one's going to have a little bit bigger of a, not much though. Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. That works kind of the same way as those plastic ones, except for it does spread a little bit more whenever you use that one. So you're going to be able to hold more weight with that one. You know, you can get 57 pounds with the AF5. I use blue plastic anchors. My Phillips 2 6-inch bit makes the hole the right size. Yeah, there's certain ones where you start to figure out what makes the right size for holes, because normally you're sitting there with something in your hand besides a drill bit. There's a metal anchor, kind of like the white ones, hammered in like a slit. way better than the white ones. I've got some metal ones, but they're I don't have any that you hammer in. They're still the I don't know if I got one in here. I got one left. I use these quite a bit, but they sell metal ones of the togglers that are like that. I do like these go in better than the plastic ones as far as cleaner. This style here is not bad. You can get these at Home Depot, I think. Again, I mostly use this style just because it's cleaner, and this is only like for hanging pictures and stuff like. I'm not talking about I'm hanging TVs or something with this kind, but. And as far as toggle bolts, like I don't even use any toggle bolts anymore besides, these. That's pretty much it. I don't even want the other ones. These I always get some. These come with things a lot, and I save them just in case I ever want to use them. But these are the ones, where you have to fold them in and then put the little red push button in there to push them back out. You got to put them in like that. Then once you put it in the wall, you take your little plunger and push it in the hole, and then it pokes it back out. Which, I mean, that's a really good on the back of your drywall. I mean, that's pretty good. But I feel like you got to make too big of a hole. Like you can barely get that to fit in there. It's not much smaller than the outside diameter of this. So I've never cared for them much. But they always come with a lot of stuff I put in for some reason. So I save some just in case there's a better application for it than something I've got. Yeah, I definitely need to organize that one better. But like I said, I normally use up whatever's in there and go buy some at the store and throw some in there or come in here and get them out of my box. Smart using the awl. What kind of awl is that red handled? That one's a Filo, I think I bought. I had something else and I lost it. I think maybe I had a PB Swiss one before, and I gave it to somebody and didn't get it back, or whatever. Somebody was using it where I was working and I didn't think about getting it back. Then I bought that one. I think I got that off KC Tool or something like that. Maybe the times they had the free shipping weekend or something. I think I bought it. I've got a big Klein one too. Like I bought the demo Klein awl. Like I could use that one, but any of them you find, they actually sell it's what brand is it? Like maybe CH Hansen or something like that, or it's some kind of Europe brand though. Maybe I don't remember what brand it is. It's some kind of brand it's tapered. It's actually made for wall anchors like that, and it's actually got like skinnier. It's tapered like this is obviously tapered too, but it's tapered to like almost like a step bit. So it's almost got like a stop where you stop at a certain size and go to the next size. It's all in metric, whatever it is for the whole sizes. But I mean, that wouldn't matter. You'd be able to figure it out. Like this one is this up to this step type of thing. I've wanted to get it, but I can't find it anywhere where the shipping's not crazy. But having the steps on it would be kind of nice. But for the most part, that one right there, if I go right to the point before it starts to get fairly thick, that's a yellow. That's pretty much where you can see my drywall. That's one of them small yellows. If I go a little bit bigger, it gets into maybe like a blue or the bigger yellow that's Klein or whatever. Like basically, if I put this whole thing in there, I can sometimes fit those bigger ones in there. I sometimes use the screw-in anchors and drop ceiling tiles to mount cameras. I use picture hangers for pictures, but then again, I'm an artist. Clint can print Milwaukee inserts. Yeah, if I had a 3D printer, I'd be in trouble. Like I don't know how much the filament stuff costs, but I'd be like, oh, I mean, it'd be nice that you make stuff exactly how you want it, but like all the little insert trays and all that kind of stuff. Is the all you're using a Filo brand? Yes. Manly enough. I like it. Manly enough. I like it. Amanda said manly enough. I like it. I don't know what she's saying that to. TV several minutes behind phone. Yeah, there's always like my lag, which actually I'm paused, so I don't even know where I'm at, but my lag from me talking versus what's on my screen right here is always like way behind. I'm liking the computer usage. Yeah, I don't know how well like you guys I can see like what it is on my screen, but anytime I'm up there, I'm not looking at my screen, so I don't know how well y'all can see the stuff that's on there or not. Like if it's not something real big. If I even think something is slightly heavy, I use those toggle bolts, expensive, but I know it ain't coming down. The big thing to me about those toggle bolts is, especially like for like fire extinguisher or something like that, sometimes it has to go somewhere. Like it's the only option is to put it somewhere where there's no framing, and that's a pretty heavy deal. But the nice thing about those toggle bolts is like for some reason, if you ever have to take down like let's say you're painting that room and you got to take probably most people will paint around it, but you got to take the mount off for your fire extinguisher and put it back up. Like that anchor stays in there. You can take something out and then put it back. Same thing if you use them in a ceiling and you take them out, like you can reinstall that thing and not with a regular toggle bolt. Once you pull them screws out, them toggles are just hanging out loose up there in that ceiling. So for you to put another one in, you just got to use a whole nother toggle bolt. So I like the fact that the actual anchor part stays in the wall. You can basically remove and put that stuff back. White screw in anchors can turn into a mess if you hit a tape drywall joint. I've drilled a hole first if that happens. Yeah, or you just go in assuming it doesn't, whatever I'm hanging doesn't have to be in a stud. So I'm just going to use anchors, and then you start using those white ones, and the next thing you know, you're hitting a stud. Like you don't spend the time to even see if there's a stud because you're like, it doesn't matter. This is a 2 pound thing, and I've got to put anchor. I know it's a 14-inch wide thing, so the odds of me being able to put it on a stud is two of them is slim to none. So I'm just going to use wall anchors, and then sure enough, you'll hit a stud, and it goes in and then spins and wallers. Oh, the font on that was manly. Doing punch and warranty, those big screw-in anchors are usually the ones that fail and beat up the drywall. I've seen them a lot on what they're bad for. Like I wouldn't ever use them on a towel bar and stuff because whenever they pull out, because somebody inevitably is going to pull those out. You know, especially if it's like a rental property or something like that, like people just are hard on all that stuff. And whenever somebody pulls those anchors out, it's a really big hole like that comes out with it that you can't put one of those anchors back in. You almost have, and then you patch the drywall, but you still have to put that screw back in the same spot. So then it's still not going to hold. It's not a good thing to have really big anchor like that in a wall and something that's going to get pulled out. Not pulled out because of weight of the object or just because like it was too heavy for that anchor to start with. It's pulled out because somebody forcibly pulled it out. It causes a lot of damage. What's the number on the Filo all? I don't know if it's got it to where I see it on here anywhere or not. So let's see. I don't think it has any numbers on it. I'm trying, and like I said, I think if I bought it off Amazon, I could look it up, but I don't see any numbers on it. Let's see. I can tell you though, because I don't think I got it on Amazon. Like Amazon, I can always go into my purchases and Filo all. Let's see. I think it's this. Let's see what size it is. I think it's 7-inch. Yeah, it's 7 inches. So I think it's this one right here. $4.93 maybe. I don't know why mine doesn't have. I guess I've worn that off. Mine doesn't have any of that on it. And my hole actually, like this one's solid though. Mine goes all the way through. Like that hole goes all the way through. So that looks like it, but I don't think that's. I don't guess that is it. Like I said, I think I got it on KC Tool. Let me go to this KC Tool. And just search Felo All. Like I said, I think I bought it whenever it was free shipping. Or maybe it just doesn't look like it's got a hole. So maybe it is the 493. 100 millimeter. Is 100 millimeter close to? So I don't know what the difference of that one. Round all, tapping all. So this is a tapping all. I don't think mine's got that on it. Yeah, that's not. So I'm pretty sure I got it. So I guess it's probably metric. So I'm gonna assume it's probably. I hate when it does that. I want to go back right there. Yeah, well, I guess it's this one. 493. That one still says 493. Mine doesn't have any of that barcode or any of that stuff on it. Which mine doesn't look like it's that big a tip though either. I don't think it's that one. I don't know. Let me check Amazon. See if I bought it on Amazon. I don't think I did though. See if we see purchased up here next to any of these. Yeah, it almost has to. I mean, it almost has to be that one. 493. That one's only 4-inch though, so it isn't that one. It's definitely a 6-inch or 7-inch or whatever, and it's round. But I don't know, and I don't think you can get into my. Well, and I can't get to that from this computer. I can look up in my business receipts. I can search KC Tool and I can find the invoice for it at some point, but I can't do that from here, and I have to be on my computer. If the chat is busy, I can't see your TV when I'm viewing it on my TV. Oh, so it cuts off some of it on your TV. Oh, yeah, because on the TV, the chat doesn't go off to the side. It kind of goes up the. Yeah, I got you. Now that you say that, I very rarely watch stuff that has the chat on my TV, but now that you say that, I know what you're talking about. Finally bought the Vessel 250 series Phillips. If the anchor blows out drywall, you use a backing on the patch, use a screw. TPG got another UC3A. UC3A, is that Ace Beam? TPG? I think that's the one that it's sitting up on my, is that the little orange Ace Beam UC3A? I've got that sitting up there in my truck on my console right now, I think. That's why the T-pops are good for bath hardware, small enough to put two side by side for cleat. Step All sounds pretty cool if you could remember the name. Let me look and see. I think it was it was some kind of like CA. Let me see. I couldn't find it anywhere except for like overseas. Like, so the shipping aspect of it was crazy. As a matter of fact, I think I only saw it on eBay. So I'm going to try CH Hansen all, but I don't think that was it because I think CH Hansen's USA stuff. But let me see what comes up. No, let me just do a Step All or something like that. Step, anchor, all. We'll see what comes up. I can't remember what they called it. I'm just going to do step anchor tool or something like that. I saw it on, I don't remember how I came about seeing it. I had it in my Amazon wish list for a long time, but I don't think it's in there anymore. Maybe an anchor punch or something like that. Let's see. I'll try to, if I can find it, I'll post it. Let me go in my list and see. I'm not signed in out here on this thing though. Yeah, I ain't gonna mess with that either. I think I can find it because I think I had it saved for a long time in my Amazon wish list, but you couldn't order it on Amazon. It was one of them things where you could bring it up, but it wasn't available. And then everywhere else I found it. I've actually, every now and then I get a gift cards for Amazon UK. It's pretty, like once a year I might get enough money to buy a small tool with it or something like that from where people use my affiliate links from over there. And if they buy it on Amazon UK, I have to spend that money on Amazon UK. And that's one of the things I need to remember that I'm looking for, because I'm pretty sure you can get it there. Yes, the Ace Beam. Tom said, "What is Ace Beam?" It's a flashlight brand, Ace Beam, and he's got the UC3A is a certain model. It's a little bitty flashlight that has a regular light, and it's also got a side light, but it's really small. It's almost like a headlamp type size. Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about how the hats turned out. Wasn't expecting them to be close to what my other ones were. Like I said, I actually kind of like the words, the lettering, the bottom, the ain't part a little bit better. Because all I could do is put my logo into it. Like I had to go in there and take the background out and make it just letters and try to keep it clear. But all I could just put it in there, and then I ended up having to move some stuff around. But you don't really know what it's going to look like. It's just a cartoonish picture whenever you're designing stuff, because the hat's not even really the hat that you're looking at and all that kind of stuff. So you really have no idea how it's going to turn out. That's why, like I said, I made sure and ordered one and sent it to my house before I ordered myself even more of them, but also before I made it to where anybody else could get one. Yeah, tomorrow I got to go back to that pharmacy job that I'm bidding, because whenever he was naming off it's quite a bit of electric work. It's more so data work than electric work. So, and it's one of those where there's plenty of stuff for me to do while that's going on. And so I'm gonna meet my electrician guy that I hire for jobs like that. I'm meeting him out there in the morning, and then I got to do. Really, I'm only installing one new storm door, but ultimately I'm installing and uninstalling 3 screen doors. But it's playing move around with screen storm doors tomorrow. I'm taking one off, putting the new one where that one is, taking that one that I took off around to another door, taking that one off and putting that one on it, because apparently one of them's in really bad shape, one of them's in really pretty good shape, and then one of them's new. So doing that. Went and bid a bunch of work at a house. It's not a bunch. I mean, it's a couple days probably, if I'm, or a really long day or 2 trips, one of the two, and got it approved today. So I'll be doing that. Oh, I need to, next Thursday, I doubt they'll be alive because I don't think I'm going to be able to be around. So may not be alive next Thursday. Pretty unlikely they'll be alive next Thursday. So just throwing that out there as a heads up. I'll make a post like if I know for sure. And then I haven't filmed a guest to trade yet for this Saturday, but I also only have one, and it's Joey Holloway. And since he just said that in here, I might. So that's the only person I've got to do a guest to trade. I might see if I can get it filmed and not do it this Saturday, but schedule it next Saturday. So that way, if he's dealing with all that stuff. I don't want him to feel like he's got to come watch his guest to trade video and all that stuff. So I might not have a guest to trade Saturday either. We'll see. The thing about the Milwaukee dust collector, if the patch is above the waist, it's too much trouble. Short hose, easier to just hold the hose close to where you're cutting. Yeah, oftentimes that's what I do, Don. A lot of times if it's not something where I'm like, I can easily do this with one hand, cutting wise, holding my tool, and then also hold the hose, I do that probably more often than I do the dust collector. But sometimes I'm doing something where it's like I can't cut outside my lines. Like it's got to be this, and I want to be able to hold it with two hands and take my time with it. That's when I'll use that. Or if I'm working around a customer, man, I can't tell you how far it goes. If they see you using stuff like that, like they're like, "Oh man, this guy really cares about." I mean, he's got stuff to. They'll be like, "What is that thing?" Oh, I put that on the wall. That way, you don't get a bunch of dust in your air and gets all over your other stuff. Oh, man, that's nice. And you use stuff like that. It goes a long way with certain customers. Or we'll be lost with no live. Yeah, I know I'm not going to be able to do it from here. I might can do it from where I'm going to be at, but it's probably unlikely. So just plan on it not be. And if there is one, it'll be a bonus. How hard would it be to put a step bit from Harbor Freight in a handle and make an awl? Well, I mean, now you could maybe, I don't, well, the problem with the step bit though is a lot of them aren't thick enough. They're not as thick, like they step before like your thickness of drywall or whatever. So then your hole is going to be one thickness on the inside of the hole and then one thickness on the outside. Because they do have like really, I might even have one in here. Like they have pretty skinny. Let me see if there's a small one in this thing. I don't remember what box that's in. Actually, I think I put those in my. No, here they are. Yeah. Man, this one's still not very skinny. I think they've got one even skinnier than this one though. I think. Now this one's got some pretty decent steps on it before it gets to the next one. That's pretty close to a half inch probably on your drywall, but it's still not. But that's kind of close. Like if you had one that had a little bit longer steps than that, but I also don't know if like while you're using that, if it's going to create like dust like you're drilling something. I mean, it's probably still going to create less than a drill bit spinning in your drill, but if you put it in a screwdriver handle, but you're still going to get some. That right there, you get pretty much very little. Most of it always goes into the wall. For such step bits profile, what works for you on your drill and sandpaper? Thursday after next NFL season. Yeah. There's some preseason, I think, on Amazon tonight. I think that's the first preseason game that we'd be able to watch. All the other preseason stuff's been on stuff I don't get. But I'm not a big, I don't watch a lot of the preseason stuff anyways. It doesn't really tell you anything. And most of the time, the big name people don't even play any preseason anymore. Swapping the water, amount of coffee. Go Jets. Oh man, you've had a rough go for a long time. James. You got Geno Smith back now though. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got. Let's see. I finally got my last thing in that I was waiting for to do a tool haul video, so I'm gonna try to film that hopefully soon so I can put it out next week. Because next week's basically gonna be you probably won't see a lot of videos from me next week. I don't guess. Depends on if I can get some filmed before and like have them built up. I've got one thing I've still got to put out. And if I don't do it, I might put it out on Saturday at the guest to trade time, and I'll do it as a premiere. If I don't do Joey's guest to trade, like I said, I don't think I was gonna go ahead and do it this week and just say there probably won't be one next week. But with him saying that earlier about all the stuff he's going through, I might just hold off. If I get it, I'm still gonna try to film it, but if I don't get it, even if I get it uploaded, I may not release it. So if I don't do a guest to trade Saturday, I might release the video that I've got on Saturday at the normal guest to trade time, and I'll do it as a premiere. That way you can have a chat if you want to on Saturday. Because we're moving Amanda's parents Saturday. I don't know if I'll be able to be in the chat or not either. So this week has been a week of, I've worked late several days. It's been a week to get ready for next week. Holiday weekend next week. They make reamer tools that have huge steps in it and look like a step bit. That's kind of what this punch looks like. And I can't think of the name of it for nothing. I know the name of it. Like it's not like it's a weird name that nobody's ever heard of, but it's not one that sells a lot of tools over here. I could have swore it was the C.H. Hansen people though, but I didn't see it there whenever I was searching. But because the C.H. Hansen's the one that makes that stud finder that a lot of people like, but I was thinking that was a USA made thingamajigger, but maybe it's something like that. I don't watch any pro sports. They've all become overpaid and want to push political message. Yeah, it's getting that way. And it's not so much, I don't feel like well, certain leagues it's the players, but like a lot of the players aren't necessarily, there are some in every group. There's less in some of them than others, but it's the leagues, like the leagues are pushing it, like the corporate part of it. TBG said if I ever return to watching a sport, it'd be NHL. Just action on the ice. Oh, Blades of Steel. Anybody play that Nintendo game? Wasn't it called Blades of Steel or something like that? Where you could punch, where you could get into fights. Was it Blades of Steel or Blades of Glory? I think it was Blades of Steel. I think Blades of Glory might be a movie. There was a Nintendo game that was hockey that was Blades of Steel or something like that. But I got another thing in from Milwaukee. I got a thing in from Roaring Fire. I think I've got something coming from Wolfbox. And then like I said, I got several things in this drawer right here that's going to be a tool haul video that I've been saving just to do a tool haul video. I got something else that I can't. Oh, well, then the video that I've already got uploaded. Yeah, they used to sell plumbing tools at Lowe's, smooth, no sharp bits, and 3/4 inch steps. I'm gonna look on the. I think I should be able to. I'm gonna get off the chat here for a second and pull up my Amazon on my tablet and see if because I can get into my list on my tablet. I think I'm signed in on here. I'm gonna see if it's still in my list. I used to have it in a list, but I think they took it out for a while because it wasn't available, and I don't know if they ever put it back in. It'd be way down at the bottom if it is. Not in that list. Let's see if it's in tools. Oh, turd. Not seeing it yet. And then after this, I'll get on my eBay and check mine, but I'm sure it's already out of that too. But because that was one place where I found it was on eBay, but the shipping was crazy. You got too many tools in my wish list. Oh, right here it is. CK Tools Plasterboard Punch. CK Tools. CK Tools Plasterboard Punch. Yeah. So you can see it's got little tapered steps right here for different anchors. So you basically got 3 different anchor sizes. Let me see what it says the sizes are. Oh, you stupid ad. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but I don't know what happened there. The stupid ad pulled me over. Plasterboard Punch 4837. Let's see if we can find it to buy. Where? Yeah, see, 45 bucks, like $116 right here. I'm not paying that for one. And here it is on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure it was unavailable or something like that. No, 27. Oh, only one left to order. Free delivery. Only one in stock. And I can't buy it from here because I'm not signed in. Better get Miss Maintenance to buy that thing for one of y'all do. They make, let's see. CK is a very UK brand. Wow, it is expensive. And yeah, I'm gonna look up CK Plasterboard Punch on here and let's see. Yeah, so it's about 30 bucks because they charge you. Oh no, it does take the shipping off. It's still 30 bucks with tax and all that stuff. And I've not had any problems really using this one. But if I ever find one of those for cheaper, I still don't think I want to spend 30 bucks on it. I've been trying to talk Miss Maintenance. I've been trying to talk Amanda into get me a squeegee jig square. Have you ever had to recharge your M18 nails? Not yet. And I've had my M18 brad nailer, the M18 brad nailer, not my M12. I've got both of them, but I've had it for a long time, and I've used it a lot and hadn't had any problems. And I've got a framing nailer. I've got the 15 gauge. I've got the M18. Brad. I've got the M18 or M12 Brad. I've got the M12 pin nailer, and I haven't had any problems. The only one I had a problem with, there was a deal on a Metabo. Oh man, what was it? It might have been it was a 15 gauge Metabo. I went and bought it because it was on sale like for dirt cheap at Lowe's online one day. I think I got it for like 99 bucks or something like that. Went and picked it up in store, took it to the job. It was when we were doing that quadplex and I had all that trim, and every nail, not a single one of them was going, like it was like sticking up this much. And I called the representative. He said, yeah, he said every now and then, whenever some of those go out, they don't have the right charge or something in it. And he said, you might as well just take it back. And he said, you need to try the next one when you get it at the store. This is the Metabo guy that was telling me this. He's like, because sometimes it's in bunches, but I just took it back because actually I had to ship it. I ordered it online and shipped it to my store. My store didn't have any, so I couldn't do an exchange and even try another one. And I wasn't gonna mess with shipping another one and all that stuff. And that's when I ended up just going and getting the Milwaukee. Found it, swagging punch. Anyone still use pass load nailers? There's still a lot of people out there I see. I mean, they're definitely the lightest of the bunch, but I don't buy them because I don't do like I don't use my nailers all day to where like, and I feel like whenever you open up them gas things, like if you let it sit for a while, it's gone. And I don't use mine all, like if that's all I did was framing, I think I would put it into my price and probably use pass load, just because it is crazy, like the difference in size and weight of them nailers versus like the Milwaukee one. Uh, so if I was going to use it every day, and I know no matter what, whenever I put these gas cartridges in it, I'm going to run through it. And like I'm going to empty this thing and put in another one, and all that kind of stuff. I'd probably still use pass load if I was doing it all the time. That was my only job all day, was just framing. Mm-mm. And I don't know that I'd buy trim nailers probably that are those, because I don't feel like the trim nailers from Milwaukee they're not that bad weight wise, in my opinion. I mean, they're definitely heavier than an air one, but I don't think there's not as big a jump between the pass load trim guns and the Milwaukee nail guns as far as weight and feel and all that stuff as there is the framing nailer. The framing nailer is crazy different. What's up, Blood Song? We had a few nice days of weather, and then now it's turned humid as all get out again. The last couple days, I feel like I'm sitting weird, like based on how much is showing from the screen. Like it looks like I'm a little guy. Tom's got a pass load, an air framing nailer for pass load, and likes it. I don't have any. Well, I take it back. I don't ever use it anymore because now I have a crown. I didn't have a crown stapler for a long time that was battery, and then I got a Metabo one on sale at Lowe's one day with batteries, and that's the only reason why I bought it. And that's the only air nail gun I think I got left. I've sold all my other ones. I used to have a lot of rigid. I had rigid pin nailer, rigid brad nailer, a couple other different size rigid nailers, all in air. And then I've sold them. I don't even have them anymore. If you're working around somewhere where like if you're working in like a wood shop and the hoses are, up, maybe hanging from the ceiling to where they're just down and you're not tripping on them and stuff, it's not like The cabinet shops I go into, they're still all using air nailers and stuff like that just because they're, you know, cheaper for one. You don't have to deal with the buying the batteries, and it's not that big a deal. But job sites and moving around buildings and stuff like that, it's nice. The battery powered stuff's nice. If you're working in one central location, and especially if you can get your air compressor like out of that location to where you're not hearing that running and all you're hearing is the nail guns clicking away, it's not too bad. Just ordered that CK Tools. So you got it, the one that was left in stock. You got lucky. I decided not to get it. I had it in my cart just sitting there. But if I didn't already have like an all and all that and multiples of them, then I'd think about it. If I was just now going to start using one to make my anchors and I didn't have anything else, I would have bought it. But no AC in the truck, yeah, it'd be rough. Blood Song said last week was so humid I could hydrate by breathing. Save time drilling and vacuuming up the dust. That's how I'm going to justify it. It does. It makes a big difference. Mm. And it's, to me, it's, you get a little bit more precise hole because that point goes right wherever you're, like if you've got a crosshair where you want to drill a hole, that point's going in like right where you put it. So there's no, oh, I wobbled off a little bit when I started my drill bit or, all that kind of stuff. A pin size auto punch works great for the blue anchors. Yeah, you could probably actually take like a punch set, like just a metal one, and like I could probably actually do that if you wanted to spend the time to do it. I've got like a real cheap set, I think, out here. It's something you could do if you're bored one day and you got a grinding wheel and all that kind of stuff. Let's see if I think I got an old set in here. Yeah. Get you a set like this and put it in your anchor box. Make yourself some points on them. Get you a set like this and grind some points on all of them. And then put that in your anchor box. Then you have a whole set of different sizes. Don't have to have the steps. You could do that. I'm gonna go ahead and put these back down there. If I set them on my workbench, they'll be there for a while. Go get you a Harbor Freight set. Make you a wall anchor punch set. I bought a all years ago. It was on the union list. Never used it, nor do I know exactly what it's for exactly. Yeah, I mostly use mine for wall anchors. Every now and then I'll put it in a hole to move something around, or a lot of people use it as a punch. Like I see R&R buildings using one all the time to punch their holes through their metal. Theirs is a punch of some kind. I think theirs is a Malco or something maybe. That way they're getting all their holes going through. I had coworkers do that to my Snap-on screwdriver, make an awl out of it. Yeah, or you could well, most screwdrivers are the same diameter though. But yeah, like a punch set like that's not a bad idea. If you could find you a good set of handles on a punch set like that, although if you're gonna put them in a box, you wouldn't want a bunch of big handles. I mean, if you really, really wanted to, you could find you a really big awl and maybe go down through there and make your own. But at that point, I'd spend $30 and buy by the one. We'll see you. I'm gonna say Instrapelke in Stripple Key. I don't know. I don't know where the break is in that. Where's your coworker buried? My coworker. Instructor. Well, I wouldn't get that out of there. Oh, and maybe it's Instructor Pelkey, I guess. It's kind of, or is that a different language of saying instructor? James's coworker. Oh, because James is, they did it to a snap-on screwdriver. That's what you're asking. I got you. I got you. By a 1 foot length of steel or even a piece of rebar. Yeah, I mean, if you had a lathe or something like that, you could make yourself like the ultimate one of those if you wanted to, because that one's got 3 sizes on it, which is typically going to be probably most of the 3 common sizes. So it's probably all you really need. But yeah, you could go crazy, like even get up to 1/2 inch, which is what those toggle bolts, most of the time, they're either 3/8 or 1/2 inch, the snap toggles. Now, those I normally drill out because I don't have an awl that goes that big, anyways. But you could make you one. And the more it's stepped, the easier it would be to get. Like, it'd be hard to just take a 1/2 inch awl and run it through the wall without busting something out. But if you tapered it from where you started out small hole, big hole, big hole, big hole, and got up to 1/2 inch, it might go pretty good. I have a lathe at work. I do not know how to use it. I used to run all those kinds of tools back in the day. I haven't done any of it in a very, very long time. I kind of swapped from whenever I first started working, I was more in the industrial setting, running machines and doing stuff like that. And then whenever I transitioned over into facilities maintenance, I started doing more building stuff. And then now I've done that way longer than anything else I've ever done. So I I do more. I can pretty much most things that are in a building, whether it's inside, outside, whatever. There's not too much I haven't had my hands on. It's like I feel like I could build a house from by myself. Other than the lifting, some things would be really hard of certain aspects of it, but there's nothing. There's no part of a house that I wouldn't be able to do myself if I really wanted to. I haven't used a lathe since high school metal shop. Back in the day, whenever I was first starting doing stuff and I was getting into woodworking and stuff, like some of my first tools I bought was a scroll saw. And then I remember whenever I got my router, I mean, I made our first headboard. Like it was this big picket fence birdhouse thing. I don't even remember what it was. If I looked at it now, I'd think, who made this thing? But at the time, man, I had just started using routers and all kinds of stuff, just making stuff like crazy. And I was like, yeah, whenever I get like older and have money to buy some better tools, I'm gonna buy me big table saw and band saws and because I want to make furniture and stuff like that. But I don't really have the want to do that kind of stuff anymore. It's not really my. I mean, if I wasn't working and I was just, hey, I'm gonna go out here and piddle, type of thing, maybe. But I would probably make myself stuff or something like that. But it's not something where I want to just do it. I hear you. I could build a house too. Key phrase if I wanted to. I wouldn't want to do the roof anymore. I leave that to younger guys. That's just like, yeah, me. Now I did sheathe the roof on this, but whenever it came to the shingles, by the time I would have bought the shingles and did it, and then I was trying to beat the rain and make sure I was going to get it all in and everything. I'm just like, man. And there's a guy who I use for all my roofs on my jobs, and he's the same guy I used at my facility place. And I called him, and he's like, "Yeah, we can get somebody out there tomorrow." I was like, "Well, you can come on with it then. I'm gonna let y'all do it." I'll do a shallow roof, and it depends on what time of year it is. I'm that way with even like exhaust fans and stuff like that. I'm like, if it's July and August, and you want me to come change an exhaust fan, it's gonna cost you. I'm gonna try my best to talk you into not doing it. Well, I just checked to see if it really was the last one, and I not only canceled the order I had placed, I got the same one through Amazon that would be delivered on September 12th and $2 cheaper. I knew I had it in my list, but for the longest time on Amazon, it's always said temporarily unavailable. Like, and I haven't scrolled through that list right there. So I've got a wish list, which is where it always puts everything automatically if I just press the little heart button on Amazon. And sometimes I don't go down and hit add to a list and put it into tools, and sometimes I do. And every now and then I'll go through the wish list and just start moving stuff into tools and just do it all at one time because it's easier to hit that little heart button than it is to go down and find the add to a list and mess with doing all that. So that's been in there for a long time, and I don't go down through that list very often anymore. I have the Klein all. Yeah, I've got the one with that new. Actually, I think I've got the. I probably have the other one over there too. I've got another. I think my other one might be up there in this box. Maybe what's this? This might be a regular screwdriver. Yeah, I've got an all with this kind of handle, but I've got the one that's got that new. That's the one that's in my truck. I've got the one that's got the new demo style handle with a little, extra piece on the top. I've got that one, but I've got one. Man, it's over here maybe. Where is that one? No. It used to be in with my nut drivers over here. I don't know what to do with that one. It's probably in one of those up there. It might actually have it might not have a cap on it like that. Might be this one. Yeah. I thought it had a metal cap, but yeah, I got this little one here, but I've also got that big demo one out there. What's on my wish list? Shoot, it's 10 miles long. I throw all kinds of stuff in there. And whenever I'm just scrolling through Amazon, which I don't scroll through Amazon as much as I used to. I normally get on Lowe's deal of the day. I'll get on Home Depot's deal of the day. Amazon's more usually if I know exactly what I'm looking for, I start searching for it. I used to just get on there and just search like bit holders and just go through in the morning and go through. But now I'm spending so much time answering comments and stuff, like to where I don't scroll as much on Amazon as I used to. I'm usually answering everybody's comments. And my soft blocked again are just irrelevant. A little bit of both. We'll see you, Clint. I don't touch wood or drywall, and if I do, it's going to cost you. Yeah, I usually try real hard on exhaust fans, and in my opinion, it's the way to do it anyways. Like, there's really nothing wrong with the whole box of an exhaust fan. Like, whenever it quits, you can always find the motors and all that stuff, and you can clean I mean, it's just a metal box. It isn't like it's doing something crazy. If you can change out the guts of it and put a new grill on it, it's way easier than getting up there and finding one that fits the same hole. And then if you cut the hole bigger, maybe the electric's on the opposite side of the new one than what it was on the old one, and now the electric's not long enough. It's just you get into so many things changing out an exhaust fan that could turn into something. It's like just put new things in it. I usually get on the YouTube to feed my tool addiction, end up spending $300 on stuff that you already have and didn't need. That's what Amanda says I do all the time. She thinks I don't need another 7-inch square, and she's wrong. She thinks I don't need one. I need one that's got a level in the bottom of it, and I need one that's got the markings that the squeegee jig has on it. Cause I don't have as many 7-inch squares as I've got trim squares, and I only use one trim square now. I pretty much use my Martinez all the time. Those are all the squares are things I hadn't really upgraded to the bougie over the course of time, because for the most part I always just used them for 90 and then for layout and stuff like that. But I do like the feel of I like the heels on the ones that have the levels built into them. I just like the feel of it better, sliding on stuff, holding it. YouTuber Coon Trucking got me a couple of times. Yeah, I watch his stuff. Matter of fact, the other day, so I've told y'all before, I've never been on a Snap-on truck like in person. I've never been on one. And I pulled into a 5-star gas station the other day, and the Snap-on truck was parked in the gas station, but kind of off to the side. And I was like, well, I'm going in there to get me something to drink. I'm gonna see if I see somebody in a Snap-on shirt in there. And I saw the guy, but he was buying like lunch and all that kind of stuff too. And I was like, because I was going to be like, hey, can I come get on your truck? And I was going to see if he'd let me even like film some of it or whatever. But he was getting ready to eat lunch and all that. And plus, I had somewhere I had to be anyways. And I was just like, man, I don't want to mess with him if he's getting ready to be eating and all that kind of stuff. You need a few more screwdrivers. I got quite a few. Quite a few. It's 1L. Yeah, with the level. I always have room for more pliers, even though I need more. Like I need a hole in the head. I'm a big plier. I'm a hand tool. I like hand tools better than power. Like I'd 10 times like rather review even a hand tool. Just for one, it's easier to review too, because there's like it only does stuff with our hands. You don't have to sit there and test it and do a bunch of stuff anyways to show people the answer to some questions that they're going to ask. Uh, but I'm a hand tool person. Like I like hand tools. I like working out of my tool bag. I like working out of pouches. I'd rather use hand tools all day long. The work that I do with hand tools, I like doing that better than the work I do with power tools. Like I'm a hand tool guy. Pliers, screwdrivers. That's my nerd out stuff. Is I like to look into those more than I do power tools. That's why I say all the time, like people start talking about power tools and the RPMs and the impacts per minute and the different speeds and all that kind of stuff. I'm just like, I don't really get into all that. It's like, will it put in the screws that I do? Yes, that's all I care about. I don't care which one wins in the torque war and all that kind of stuff. On most tools. Now, if you're buying a tool specifically that you need something because you need the highest torque capability out there because of whatever it is you do, it needs it. Then obviously you care about it. But most any of them I use are going to do what I'm going to need it to do. But now I do like looking at the differences in pliers and stuff like that. So we got 2Ls, lights, levels. We haven't hit the last one. Some a-hole runs a series called Guess the Trades and costs me a pretty penny every weekend. Like I said, I've only got one more for that. And I was already thinking about whenever I filmed that, like to be like, I might wait a little while. We might not have a couple Guess the Trades for a little while. Uh, so that if I get some in, and I may just basically do them as I get them in, because I mean we've done 100 and what number are we on now? What this next one will be episode 130, so that's 130 loadouts. And back when I first started doing it, like I was putting three in each. Like whenever I first started doing it, I'd put like three people's together and do like it was like a 30-minute long video and stuff. And then I noticed I was starting to run out, so I'm like, I'm just gonna do one. And for one, that's easier for me to do anyways, time wise. And then y'all also aren't watching as long a video, so I might end up having to do those just as I get them, put them out when I get them ever so often on a Saturday or do whatever, but it might not be every Saturday. Sometimes a hole in the head is necessary. I like hand tools, but the joints can only twist so much before the ache is too great. Yeah, I did. I used I tried, like I installed that vanity faucet today. Of course, that's something that you do 1,000 times. You know, it's like you could go to sleep and do it at this point. It's kind of like putting in ceiling fans and stuff like that. It's like I don't have to read instructions or anything. Just give me the box, get it out, and hand it to me. But I was using I used the Klein pliers with the teeth on it. I was trying that out on some stuff. And then I start doing stuff like that now just to make stuff more interesting to me whenever I'm doing jobs. Cause all that stuff's so mundane and boring at this point in my life. Cause I've done 10 billion of everything, that you got to have some kind of new tool to try out to make it exciting. Got the Klein 250 3 screwdriver set at Lowe's. Is Klein angle finder the best? You talking about like a small angle finder? I don't have a lot of those. I've got a Sigmund one. Actually, I think I kept the Sigmund one. I gave the Hoopar one to my buddy. I had a Hoopar one, a Sigmund one. I've got a little bitty Wixie or whatever that is. What's it? This little guy. I use this one on my table saw. I don't think this one's the Wixie brand, but it's the AccuRemote. I don't remember. It's got magnets on all three sides, is why I like this one. This one's really good for if you want to put it on a table saw and get your angle exact and all that kind of stuff. This one to me is the best one, just because a lot of them only have magnets on like one side or so, and you can't use them certain ways. But I don't have a lot of the little small ones because I've got so many digital. Like I've got a little digital Torpedo Empire level, and then I've got multiple other digital bigger levels. And I don't really need the small one that often. I know a lot of people that like that Klein one though, or it seems like they said they do. I'm not even saying that one some way. See, that's why I don't say you're trying to get me tongue twisted. I've done the same job for Amanda said for 26 years, and all I ever get is a different color highlighter. But man, you're excited when you get that different color highlighter. Totally changes the game. I just saw actually Sizzle Neck. I think it was did American Electrician. Seems like was that the Klein one that he had. I don't remember what the title of that one was. He's always got like the 10 tools, 20 tools that I bought and whatever. I don't remember if it was the ones he liked or it might have been the ones that people recommended to him. I don't remember. I don't remember what the title was after the number of the tools, but I think he just had the Klein one in there and he was talking about it, but maybe he had a solo one or something like that too that he found. He said like he'd had it for a long time and he found it and he really liked that one. But I think that one was really expensive though. The solar one seems like it was really expensive. I wouldn't do the same job for that long. Life is too short to be stuck in the same work. I do like doing different stuff, which her job, she does the same thing, but it's different every day. Like it, even though it is the same thing, it's not like it's not it's still a different puzzle every day. It's a puzzle every day, but it's a different puzzle every day. Now, that's the way I've always said, like, if I picked one thing and said, this is what I'm going to do, like whether it was drop ceilings, whether it was being an electrician, whatever, and just said, this is what I'm going to do, it would make my life, in a sense, be easier, I think, because I wouldn't have to have such a variety of tools. I wouldn't have to have a variety of certain skills, although I feel like all of us have the same set of skills. It's just a different set of materials and a different maybe order of a process or something like that. But all of our brains have to work the same. And like you still work with your hands, no matter if you're an electrician, plumber, or whatever. It's a skill that you develop based on doing it. It's practice makes perfect type thing. And then again, all of us could probably, if you're an electrician, you can also be a plumber. You just have to learn all the materials and all that kind of stuff. It's still the same kind of work. You're getting power from point A to point B, or you're getting water, or the opposite of water from point A to point B. It's just a matter of learning the materials and how they go together, and all that kind of stuff. So it isn't that I'd have to have learned less skills. I just wouldn't have to remember so many things, like because I gotta get into framing mode and remember all the things that you have to know about framing. I have to remember all those materials. I got to get into plumber mode and know all the things, all those materials and all that kind of stuff, and how stuff typically goes together and all that. But at the same time, though, I don't think I would like doing just one thing every single day, all day long. There's definitely certain things I for sure would like. I wouldn't want to drywall. I don't mind drywalling. I don't mind doing it in small doses. I don't mind doing patches. I don't mind doing like a room, an office space, something like that. But I wouldn't want to do it every single day. No way. No way. I've been running the 22-inch Husky rolling tool bag for over 7 years. Pockets were made well, held up well, Don Shop said. I think that might be my buddy's got a rolling bag. Has that got like a telescoping handle out of it, like a comes up like a luggage type of thing? I think my buddy's got that. He runs all his drywall tools in it. He's been using it for a while for that. James has been doing the same thing for 30 years. PC user support has both constants and bizarre things. Yeah. Yeah, every now and then you get yourself, no matter what you do, if you do the same thing all the time, every now and then you're going to run into something. But then that's where all that other stuff that you've done so many times, it at least helps you figure out those things. In the next 5 years, my life's going to be a lot different in the next 5 years, gearing up for retirement, including a new state. I'd argue that repairing pier and beam foundation repair is close to unique work. Yeah, that's one of those where you know the process, but it's going to be a little different every time. Like you know what you got to do, but every situation is going to be a little bit different. I could not be an assembly worker at a factory at all. I would go nuts. See, I did that from the time I was 18, I guess, and then I transitioned into like doing tool and die stuff and maintenance stuff, and then I transitioned into management in factories and stuff like shift leader and all that kind of stuff. But I started out, taking a wheel and putting it on a just sitting there doing that all day long. Telescopic has a front zipper pouch. Yeah, I think that's the one my buddy uses for his drywall tools. And he's been pretty rough with it too, and it's still hanging on. Plumbing's my least favorite. BMCK likes being mobile. I prefer service work over installation work just because of the fact that, and I probably wouldn't have, like, whenever I first started working and figuring out stuff, I like doing the stuff that I knew how to do, and I was trying to get more efficient at it. Like, oh, I can figure out how to do this faster, or I can figure out how to do this whatever. But now that I've done so much of that for so many years, it's like I like going to see if I can run into something that, and even though I'll complain about it while I'm in it, be like, oh, I wish I wouldn't have got into this, type of thing. But actually, that's what I want to do. But I'm just curious if I'm going to be able to fix it or come up with a way to fix it. I have a DJ company in Texas. Just launched my own handyman business. I work on homes and small jobs and do automotive maintenance as well. Also clean monuments for a living. So you got your hands in all kinds of stuff. But that's a good thing, I mean, you've got a bunch of different avenues that if one of them starts going, like if your DJ stuff starts for some reason, people aren't using it as much and they do something else or something else comes along, you've got other stuff you can go do. Which again, I think that's kind of why our jobs are, no matter which field you're in, you're a little bit more protected to have work, because even if something gets slow, especially like for me, I do so many different things that if for some reason in my area there's an influx of people that are going to do this now and it's very hard to find work doing that because there's so many people doing it, it's like, okay, well, I'll just shift over and start doing this because yeah, I do plenty of that too. So it's a good thing to, that's another upside to having multiple things in your wheelhouse than just one thing. Or you never know if like something can happen in your health, like what TPG said, he can't really get on ladders and stuff that much, anymore. So if his whole career was and everything he ever learned how to do was I've got to be on a ladder all day long, it's like, well, what do you do then? So the fact that you can do more than one thing is a good thing sometimes. I've had 22 AC work tickets out of 56 units this year. This year's hot. Plumbing makes you more mobile. Always need something you don't have. I was just telling somebody that the other day. What was I going to work on? I was doing some plumbing actually, and I said it doesn't matter what you've got on your truck. You're one fitting short all the time. Like it doesn't matter because I don't carry that much stuff because I don't do a ton of it anyways. I'm normally always having to go get something. I've got plumbing boxes that I'll put in my truck, and I'm just like, oh, I hope whatever I might need is in here, but it almost never is. But I also don't have a whole truck with all fittings. Like the plumber I use whenever we do jobs, and I have a plumber, like if it's a bigger commercial job or something like that, he's got it like what he can make anything happen with what's on his truck. It might not be the way that he would if he had this fitting, but he can make it happen. He's always got quite a bit of stuff on his truck, but that's all he does. He just does plumbing, so he can outfit his whole truck with just plumbing stuff. That's why that's the one upside to me of like doing one thing. Like if I just did one thing, I'd be really, really efficient at it. And I'd have everything set up to where I'd never have to go to the store, probably hardly ever. I'd have all the like tools specifically for those jobs. I'd had like the best ones. Well, it's a little bit overtime. I guess I'm gonna get off here and go inside and see what's going on in the house. See if Miss Maintenance, see if Amanda's neck is straightened out yet. I got to load some stuff back in my truck first, though, too. Since y'all wanted show and tell, I had to empty my truck out. And if I don't put this in there, sure enough, I'll need some for them storm doors. I'll need something, although I don't know why I would need trim nails, crimp connectors, or any of that stuff for storm doors, but that's all I'm doing tomorrow. Well, all I'm doing as far as work, I've got some administrative work I've got to do, bidding and all that kind of stuff. But we'll see y'all on the next one. Again, Saturday, if I don't do a guess the trade, if I don't release it, I'll release a video that I've already got uploaded. I'll just release it at the guess the trade time, and I'll do a premiere. That way there'll be a chat so y'all can have one. I don't know that I'll be in there because, again, we're moving Amanda's parents this weekend. And then next week, more than likely, probably 95% won't be alive probably next Thursday. But I'll do one at some point if I can, maybe over the weekend or something like that if I have time to. But we'll figure it all out. We'll see y'all on the next one. You'll live if you don't see me for a week.